Well, a lot to get into tonight. I would say that Cleveland sports. I mean, there's not a lot going on, is there? I mean, there's
Nah.
never a lot going on. Uh, oh boy, the wait for a coach is finally over. LeBron was back in town. Ohio State making news. A guest of ours that's we had a couple weeks back. He's making news.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, we can have him back on again at some point. And of course, the goat Jose Ramirez is going to be a guard his entire career for the basically they're going to figure out a way every single time that needs to extend and he wants to continue his career. They're going to figure out a way as we have seen already. But this is the voice of the land. I'm Kevin Arnold. I am grateful to be back. Thank you to Chad for I believe Chad, right?
Yep, Chad. Yep.
Chad was filling in last week. Ryan Moster is alongside me. We are in partnership with LPV Production and brought to you and partnered with Greeny Sports Cards. I feel bad, Ryan, because they also are partnered with the Crunch, and I thought I had all the live reads done during the game this past week, and it was so intense. Like it was just back and forth action, and it was like I had to like find the right time to do all these live reads. And I thought I did it, and then as I was driving home, I was like, darn it, I forgot one of their live reads. Well, that live read does mention that they are live every Tuesday on their social media pages at 7:00 for basically like eBay type elements, things like that. And of course, follow them, Green Sports Cards. Get all the information there, greensportscards.com. Figure out where they're going to be January 31st. So coming up on what is that? Saturday, right? The 31st is Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday, 2 days.
At the end of the month, they're going to be actually down in Green's going to have representation down there in Columbus at the big show down there at the state fairgrounds. So make sure to check them out. Get all their information at greensportscards.com. Ryan, Todd Monken, man.
Yeah, Todd Monken.
Have at it.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this a lot yesterday on the Inside Edge Network. We're basically just covering all day, so the 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock hour if you want to check that out. But yeah, Todd Monken, man, Brown's new head coach. Something really, really interesting, man. I just wasn't really a guy that I really thought was going to be in contention really at all. But I definitely see the path. I understand it for sure, and the more I look into this guy, the more excited I am getting. So, I'm not saying he's the savior, but like I said, I can definitely see a path to where he could have success in Cleveland. And we haven't had that for a long time. So
we haven't had that for a long time. Now, again, not a guy that I was looking at, but I really didn't have, I don't know. I guess I didn't really have a dog in the fight, really, if I'm being honest. I mean, Jim Schwartz was just like, he's a known commodity, so like the defense all loves him. So why not? If you're trying to strong arm people and trying to keep him around, like why are we just not hiring him?
Right.
But that's the biggest issue, because I don't want this to come off as like anything against Todd Monken. Like I know people don't like him because of the failures of 2019. Like many Brown seasons that fail, there's more to it than just one person or bad offense or anything like that. He's had success at Georgia. He's had success at in Baltimore, and
he's been all over. I mean, he was a small town or a small D3 school quarterback. Mm-hmm. Where he basically rewrote their passing record book. After that, he jumped straight into coaching. He was a GA, went to Grand Valley State and Notre Dame, then went to Eastern Michigan and coached DBs there and then receivers, and then eventually became their offensive coordinator. Went to Louisiana Tech and Oklahoma State and was working with receivers at both of those places. Then LSU as a passing game coordinator and receivers coach. A lot of people, there's that debate of wide receiver U between Ohio State and LSU. Then he went to the Jaguars to be their receivers coach for 3 years. Oklahoma State's offensive coordinator for a year, and then he was the head coach at Southern Miss. He actually took over an 0-12 program at Southern Miss, and then within 3 years, he had them winning their division and playing in a bowl game. So, take that for what it is. Then Tampa Bay, he was an offensive coordinator, and he actually his team led the league in passing that year. Of course, we know in 2019 he was with the Browns. Nick Chubb had almost 1,500 yards. Jarvis Landry had 1,200. Baker Mayfield, it became fourth on the Browns' history in passing yards, only 49 yards away from getting second that year, and then OBJ had a 1,000-yard year too. So sure, like not everyone loves that year, but I mean his players still had way better stats than Stefanski's players did the last 2 years. Then he went to Georgia and won 2 national championships there, and he brought in Stetson Bennett. He not brought him in, but he basically just turned a former walk-on into a Heisman finalist. Then obviously was at Baltimore for their offensive coordinator, and now he's in Cleveland. He's been everywhere. He's been everywhere and done everything. And the last couple weeks I've talked about Nate Scheelhaus, and honestly, like the fact that he's done nothing. I mean, he's in Sean McVay's system, of course, but like it just sounds like if Sean McVay farts down there, then you're going to get a chance at a head coaching job. He's only been in the NFL 2 years. He's only a passing game coordinator. Todd Monken was a passing game coordinator 20 years ago. This guy's resume, he's been around a long time. He has shown successful offenses. And was he my top pick? No, obviously Harbaugh and those top guys, when they were gone, I thought, it'd be smart to retain Jim and try to make him head coach, but I definitely see the path. I mean, this guy strengthens what the Browns have been lacking specifically the last few years. So
I can't believe you were very professional about that you just walked right through that comment. I love a good fart joke. Look, I'm not ecstatic about, like, I've been apathetic for a while. Like, apathy is the best medicine to be a Browns fan. Some people try to tell me that I'm not a real Browns fan if I'm not willing right now to talk myself into Todd Monken. And it's not a full shot at him, but it's my fandom since 1999. Like, that's where my fandom started. If you want me to be one of the callers on a sports talk radio station, which I actually do have our X account open right now, so I have like the live going, so people actually want to give comment. Like, I do a bad job of that because I don't necessarily use my laptop, and you can see like my webcam is not the greatest, so I end up using. I can
always see comments too. So anytime you guys want to comment and join in, please do. That's awesome.
Yeah, because we would love to like interact with people more. I think like that's a goal of 2026.
Yeah, for sure.
Here on the show is to interact more. And I know like even beyond X, I think YouTube is probably even like the better place, the YouTube live chat. So jump in there, and if we see one is doing more than the other, we'll definitely have that open on our side. But again, I'm not. I had people say that you're not a real Browns fan if you're not talking yourself already like 24 hours later, talking yourself into Todd Monken. Guess what? I'm not talking myself into anything this offseason. They, meaning the Browns, need to talk me into the Cleveland Browns again. I'm not saying that I'm out, but being able to like be invested and knowing that all this false hope that I've had in the past, like that's no longer false hope. It's true hope. It's true change of direction. It's true getting on the path of the right thing. And is it fair? Probably not, because they can't show anything and for 8 or 9 more months on the actual football field. We still got one game still to be played, which I think we're allowed to say Super Bowl because we don't have any commercials with it. Like, we're not mentioning a partner. We say that. But there's only one big time football game left of the 2025 season. There's a long off season ahead. And all they're going to be able to do is talk and then pick players. But actions will always speak louder than words. And, he can go out there and win the press conference, and people are going to make their judgments after it. I am telling you right now, you may not believe me, Ryan, but when he finally has his press conference and we do our show after that press conference and we talk about it, I'm not going to tell you that he won it, but I'm also not going to tell you that he lost it. He's going to tell us things we want to hear. There's going to be things that he gets tripped up by a question, and people are going to be upset by how he answers it. But it might be that he doesn't convey things the right way. I don't care about the words.
Right.
I care about the actions. And there are going to be steps to this offseason where actions are there. That is getting to like right now, the Senior Bowl is going on. There's a guy from John Carroll University that's absolutely balling out. Do the Browns even know that guy's balling out right now? No, not necessarily, because they don't have their people down there. They had to finish a coaching search this week. So, and I'm not saying that because I want to pick, the guy from John Carroll, the wide receiver. I think it's Tyron Montgomery, I think is his name.
Ty Montgomery, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's just like the stories that are coming out of there, like you should be taking your notes on those, getting to the combine, making sure you're taking those notes, making the picks that you need to, doing what you need to try to bring in maybe a free agent or two, however you have to rework the money. Like those are action steps. Yeah, we can say like have preview interviews with Andrew Berry and Todd Monken about the draft and free agency, and we can have review interviews and press conferences with them. But what did you actually do, and then how does that translate on the field? It sounds dumb, but that's where I'm at. Like it's prove to me that you got it, and I don't want to just say prove me just for 1 year either.
Right.
If you're going to get on the right track, it's got to be sustained momentum, sustained development, sustained progress. And then when you get up to the level of a window opening for contention, sustaining that level of play and operation.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I'm still that Browns fan. I'm just because I have put out facts out there about this guy where I can see a path doesn't mean I think he's the right choice or maybe the top choice necessarily. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that all the fact of the matter is he's the Cleveland Browns head coach. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to root for his success and hope for his success because he's the one leading my team, and that doesn't work out for Browns fans. So, I mean, yeah, I can see the hesitation, I'm not shouting for the rooftops. Todd Monken's my guy. This, that. Like I said, I can see a path. Let's hope that this is the time. This is the one. I also have my reservations. Like I said, I can't. Like you said, I can't wait for the combine. I'm so excited to watch the Senior Bowl. I'm so excited to watch all these things. I've actually I don't think I've really told you this, but I've been putting together a draft prospect guide. I have over 300. We're doing that again this year. This is times 1,000. I have already over 300 prospects. I have every left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard, center, quarterback, running back, and tight end right now, all ranked. I have a big board. I'm going through every single position, trying to get every single player before the combine. I'm working my butt off, like a lot of hours. Thank goodness to my wife. But we'll definitely be covering that stuff. But like there, like you said, there's so many prospect. There are so many guys, and there's not a lot of time. We have 90 days, 85 days until the draft. Not the combine, the draft. There's a lot of work to be done in this small amount of time. I don't know if Monken is the guy. We don't even have his staff, like you said, set in place yet, but he's our coach, and this is our realization, at least for 1 year. So I don't know. I'm just exhausted. I want to have some fun finally, man.
Yeah, the Browns really take that moniker for the NFL, no fun league,
right?
A little too far for our liking as Cleveland fans. Todd Monken is the new head coach. I'm sure we'll get word either tomorrow or early next week of when he will meet with the media. Like there's been some of the coaches that have been hired that they were brought into the building. They had their press conference like a day or two after. There's been other ones like Robert Saleh just had his presser today, but that's been known and their season's been done for a while. So it's all based on it's families uprooting and moving. Now, it's one thing to move from Baltimore to Cleveland. That's not that far. Saleh had to go from California all the way to Tennessee. So so it's there's no like linear thing there. And yes, the jobs are filling up. What do you think of the way that the AFC North opponents had filled theirs in Baltimore and in Pittsburgh with Mike McCarthy, Baltimore with Jesse Minter?
Yeah, I consider Jesse Minter a cheater. I mean, he's one of those Michigan guys. I mean, it is what it is. If he was willing to do that once, what's to say he won't do it again? I don't know. I'm just talking crap, I guess. Nonetheless, he's a young up-and-comer. He's one of those guys that we don't know. It's a lot of name pedigree. It's a lot of, he's been one of those fish attached to a shark with Harbaugh. From Michigan to the NFL. The Chargers have had a decent defense this year. We'll see. The Ravens defense took a major step back. They had a better second half of the season. But there's a lot of pressure there. I mean, they think they're ready to win now. They have a good defense. They have Kyle Hamilton. They have an MVP caliber quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry is at the end of his game, but still one of the best in the league. And I expect them probably to draft, finally a wide receiver 1 this year. A lot of expectations. I'm not sure. So, and with Mike McCarthy, I mean, he's been around everywhere. He's not everywhere, but he's had the 3 probably premier jobs in the NFL that you can think of. I just feel like he's pretty much just going to do what Tomlin did. He's probably just going to stay around even. I don't have a ton of hope there. I don't think that their team has enough in general, unless Will Howard is the guy. We'll see. I really liked Will Howard. I still like Will Howard, and he'll have a chance to compete for the starting job. But I'm not sure if they even right now have a starting quarterback, or if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back as well. And then the Bengals are the Bengals. The AFC North is wide open still. It's still, which is crazy. You expect the Ravens to do better. That's the expectations in general. That's a lot of pressure stepping in the shoes of John Harbaugh. But they're probably in contention next year. But like I said, if we can get our stuff together, we can draft some offensive linemen or get some receivers in here, or just build upon maybe not trying to win the Super Bowl next year, but maybe have a winning record, maybe make the playoffs, wild card, and then in the next year continue to stack those picks and get better. That's just build a better team, man. It's wide open. So
yeah, because you're gonna have that contract with Deshaun Watson on the book still. It's you can't go out there and go for it all and things like that and try to sign a bunch of people. You need to establish the core and the young players on rookie deals that that now it makes things cheaper for you I know that contract will fall off, but they keep pushing money. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows how that's going to end up happening? But whenever it does fall off, you should be at a point with the roster that you've built up with a core group of players to then supplement that with veterans, big time players. The most important position in all of sports is quarterback.
Yeah.
But the worst position to take on in free agency is a quarterback. If a quarterback is available in free agency, that most likely means they're at best above average, right. Most likely average to below that level.
Or somebody who had expectations that really didn't live up to it and is looking for that second chance as well.
Yes. So. Now, is someone like Sam Darnold changing that narrative a little bit? Like that, that someone can be a reclamation project? Yes. Mac Jones kind of did something similar. Is he that? Did he do something this year to earn that kind of spot?
Jacoby Brissett, Daniel Jones. There's several guys who, a couple of them got hurt, but several guys who, probably earned new contracts or justified their, new contracts.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, those are those are definitely conversations we'll have down the line. I know, people probably want us to talk about the tests and, the way that the Browns, it's over at this point.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is the Steelers, they went with young defensive guys, the last few hires. They changed their way. And it's the Steelers, and their way has been working, but it hasn't gotten them to the ultimate level. They were willing to change. Why did we have to, why do we have to stick status quo? Does it actually equate to anything? I'm interested to find out. I'm sure the reports will come out. Who was that guy that tested the best? They did all those tests about, they did all those analytics about, and Teddy Bridgewater was the best quarterback that were the quarterback that weighed out to them when they did that. And yet they took Johnny Manziel. Who was it? It was, I think it was somebody that was back in the running for the job this time, or Kevin Stefanski weighed out as the best coach the one time, but they went with Freddie Kitchens. And I know that there was another example of a coach that, and then they just went the ownership went a whole different direction. So you're doing analytics, it tells you something.
I think it was McVay, wasn't it? Was that the Hugh Jackson time?
It might have been. Was that Sean McVay with Hugh Jackson, or was it somebody else? I can't
recall. I thought it was McVay, but I could be wrong. So
yeah, it was the Hugh Jackson hire though. Yeah. There was someone that that all of their analytics and the way that they go about things said, and then they go with the guy that, yeah, at the time he was the hottest coaching hire, and everybody was kind of after him. But you saw what happened. Like
right.
At some point, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, thinking you're gonna have different results. Well, insanity and dysfunction. As much as I know, Jimmy, you don't want that word said about your organization. Oh boy, you have a very difficult. It's very difficult for you guys to get rid of that dysfunction moniker. And in reality, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Until they show anything different, people that need to be let go from this organization can never be let go, and we're just kind of stuck right now until they learn something different. This team gets lucky, or they, things start to trend in the right direction.
Right.
So, Browns hired Todd Monken. Plenty of conversations that I'm sure we will have on that as we look at some other storylines that we haven't got a chance to touch on or been happening around Cleveland sports. Last night, Cavs win. They beat the Lakers by 30. LeBron was back in town. He got emotional with the tribute video. They're giving, they always have a tribute video for him every single time he comes back. Every player that comes back. It is the 10-year anniversary of winning the championship back in 2016. It's crazy that 10 years have already passed by us at that point. Cavs playing a little bit better basketball. People don't want to buy into it because of the opponents that they're facing. My biggest thing, Ryan, with the Cavs is I want to see the good habits start to return. And if they can continue to weed out the bad habits, bring back in the good habits, whether you want to say that they're better without Darius Garland or Evan Mobley and things like that, in my opinion, you're not in the long run of what you want to accomplish, but some reason it just seems like with two of the core four out, that's conversations for the offseason. Have they gone through the core four too long? Plenty of questions and plenty of understandability around those questions. But when I look at it, I want to see good habits. I was there last night, Ryan. I was covering for the station after a long day of breaking news and Todd Monken coverage.
Right.
Dude, I was so exhausted last night. But I saw those good habits start to come back, and you're getting your role players to play a good brand of basketball, and it's piece by piece. Does it have to be a long win streak? No, but 9 of 11, 8 of 9, like putting together better stretches of basketball so that becomes more consistent. That's what you want to see from this team. And as they continue to climb up the Eastern Conference standings, are they a championship level team right now? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I like that they're trending right now.
Yeah, I mean, continuity is a big thing. I mean, it's so. I mean, right when you think everything's going great, obviously there's another injury, and it's either Garland, Mobley, Sam Merrill. I mean, I don't know, just it sucks, man. I would love to see the core four out there and to succeed. I'm not going to touch on the Garland issue and should he stay or should he go. I talked about it last year a little bit. I want him to play. If he's on our team, I want to play, especially with the max contract. The Evan Mobley injury, I personally think really sucks. But I mean, you talked about these role players. I mean, Jalen Tyson, I mean, he's turned himself into like one of the most compelling young players on our roster. I mean, his confidence is growing in real time, and you can feel the city starting to latch onto him. He could be, I mean, the next, Dellavedova kind of, persona, except this guy's an actual baller, I mean, people love Delly because of his hustle and that, but everyone loved Delly. This guy could be a Delly, and for a late first round pick, I mean, no one saw this coming. I don't know. And then something that I think is kind of cool, the Browns could possibly draft his brother, Yeah. And he talked about that a little bit yesterday, during the what do you call it, the interview, but it just
inside the NBA with Kenny, Charles, Shaq, and I think I got it. Ernie. Yeah,
Ernie.
Can't forget Ernie Johnson.
Right. No, but nonetheless, I mean that's a fun storyline as well. You know, this guy is actually a baller. His brother's definitely a baller, and you know the Tyson brothers could be some Cleveland legends here pretty soon. That's fun things. But I mean, you talked about LeBron's return to Cleveland and the emotion. I mean, it was emotional. It was nostalgic. I mean, it was a reminder of like how much history lives in that building. I mean, watching him tear up during the tribute was pretty surreal, honestly. I mean, it didn't feel like a goodbye, but it did feel like, a moment where everyone in the arena understood the weight of his career and what Cleveland still means to him and what he means to Cleveland. Regardless of how much, how some of you feel like, yeah, he left twice, he still brought us a championship. He brought Cleveland their first championship in forever. I mean,
2 years.
Whether or not he ever plays here again, is a question only he can answer. But that last night carried, a kind of energy that sticks with you for a long time. So
we've won one world championship in the last 62 years.
Yeah.
And there was a 52-year stretch and now a 10-year stretch.
Right.
And I know the Indians/Guardians have gotten close, and we'll touch on Jose here in a second. I do have a couple things around Jalen Tyson for you that I don't know if you saw last night or anything, but just wanted to touch on those in a second. But I have to tell you, being in that building, the Cavs having the old floor, having the blue uniforms that LeBron made famous, especially with that game in Detroit, Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals, and then the Cavs go on the Cavalanche, they go on the run, and they especially in the second half, and the crowd is absolutely on fire. It was the loudest I've heard it all season long.
Nice.
And I felt like I was back in 2007. I mean, Mims was there, he was performing at halftime, 2007 hits back in my sophomore, junior year of high school. I felt back in my element of a basketball fan that grew up with that era. Am I spoiled a little bit as a basketball fan? Sure. But my dad made sure to let me know what bad basketball is and what, don't take it for granted when you get these good stretches, and trying not to take it for granted. I had goosebumps last night. I was getting emotional, and I keep it because I'm in the media section. You can't show any sort of emotion. You just sit there.
Right.
You got to make sure you follow all those rules in the media section, so you're not a fan. You're unbiased media and things like that. Are all of us kind of giving side eyes to each other and reacting to certain of course that's happening, but doing it in the most respectful way possible. With Jalen Tyson, two things. Did you see his comments on ESPN on the floor post game when he did the dual interview with Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
How did you react to that?
I mean, it is what it is. LeBron's not here, and Mitchell is here, and it's his city. So, I mean, yes, LeBron has been, quote, the king of Cleveland, the king of basketball, the king. But the king hasn't been around his throne for a while, and someone's taken over. So, maybe by, the grace of the basketball gods, LeBron might come back, and we'll see whose team it is then. But until then, it's Donovan Mitchell's. He's the one who stuck it out. He's the one that signed the extension. And I have no complaints with that. I thought it was pretty fun, actually.
Yeah. It didn't really impact me until everybody else started catching wind of it. I don't know that I felt like may have been the first person to see it.
Sure.
Because then the scuttlebutt and the conversations around it started to grow after I kind of already seen it, and it didn't impact me, and then people were seemed like they were taking offense to it and things like that. As one of the biggest, I won't say I am the biggest, but as one of the biggest LeBron fans of all time, a guy that had 7 jerseys, in the first stint was wearing one every single game day to in middle school and into high school. I was doing that, posters and bobbleheads and all of that. And then doing, having similar stuff in his second stint, all of that kind of thing. I didn't take offense to it or anything like that.
Right.
Ron left twice. There were stretches where he would say he's from Akron, not Cleveland, not Northeast Ohio. He's, he was very specific about that. I'm not saying that I have any issue with LeBron. It's just, he's been in LA and his kids have gone to school out there and all of that. it is Donovan Mitchell City. Now, does it seem like he's sending a message? Sure. I can tell you, sitting in the media room when he came to the podium and took responsibility for overdoing it, and while he was trying to shine up his guy, seeing how it came across, like he was very genuine about his like kind of how upset he was with himself that's how he presented himself. But again, there's no harm, no foul. Like,
Yeah.
I love a guy that's saying, I got no fear. I want to take the challenge of guarding LeBron, no matter what level he can give you on a given night right now. Now that he's 41 years old and 23 years in, you don't want to be the team that lets him get one of those classic LeBron games. You have to. He's so young, like there's no fear, and that's the type of players that you want. That's the grit, determination. I feel like I've told this to you, Ryan. The thing about the JB Bickerstaff era before Donovan Mitchell got here, that team, that they were building talent, but they were gritty. They got the 50-50 balls. They did all the little things. They didn't win a lot of games early because they didn't have the talent. Like, talent tends to win out in the NBA, but you're in it until like 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's the team that I want. When you have that with some of the best talent in the conference, like, that's what they need to realize, Ryan. That's what they like, doing the little things. That's how you win championships. And when you have the talent, yeah, you can win a lot of games on talent alone. You add in grit, determination, energy, heart, passion, all of that, and you bring that level back. I don't need JB Bickerstaff back here.
Sure.
Like, that's clearly in these guys because we've seen it from them.
Now, is that indicative, or is that of Kenny Atkinson and how the way he coaches, you think? Because the last 2 years we've had the second round exit. It seems like, they're made of glass. It seems like the lights are too big. But with JB, they weren't winning because they didn't have the star talent, but they were dogs. They were nitty gritty. Mm-hmm. Is that coaching? Do you think JB with this team could, or last year's team, take them farther than where they went? Because not giving injuries, of course, but
no, because that dog has been like on the way out even since, like, even during the JB Bickerstaff era. Like, the dog in these guys was on the way out, and like he couldn't get it to stay or get back into some of these guys. And then it's the same thing with Kenny Atkinson. So yeah, we can talk about, and I'm not saying that this is what should happen or anything, but when teams struggle, like, it's always going to be on the coach. It's a player-driven league, isn't it, in the NBA? Players need the drive to get the championship level job done. It's somewhere in there. They've played AAU ball. They've played against the best players forever, and there's a reason why they were brought up. I know JA is a really nice person.
Yeah.
He was beating people up last night in the post and knowing that they had the size advantage. Like, all I'm asking is, within that 48 minutes, however long you play in that game, do that there. Then go back to your book clubs and go back to, when you're not there in the game or in practice, go back to the other things that you love in life, because that's the separation. That's what, helps you with that life balance, especially when you're on such a pedestal and in such a pedigree of being a professional athlete. I'm fine with that. Like, when the cameras are off, or even if they're around you, but like, you're doing you outside of that. When you are between those four lines on a basketball court, and the sneakers are screeching and the ball is tossed in the air, from that point until that final buzzer sounds, give me what you got, and then go back to doing you.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see. And then, but it's good to see that they're trending in the right way. I know that Brian Windhurst, who is very tapped in, I think, we have like a YouTube show with him here at the station, and there's like clips out there on our X account, ESPN Cleveland, like him saying that he has heard that they're making calls and trying to figure out ways to, even under the second apron, where moves are very impossible, there are ways to do it, and they're trying to figure out if there's something that they can do to, make moves. And I think that the organization at least realizes that while they are still trending in the right direction, something needs to change. Like there is
moves in terms of what? Because I hear like Lonzo Ball's name come up, DeAndre Hunter. I mean, are we looking to sell? Are we looking to swing big and try to get LeBron, Giannis, and then one of these fantasy trades? What I mean, what I mean, yeah, they're active. I heard they turned down several offers for key role players. Like,
so and here's the thing. And after the show, if you go to our X account, like see these clips, like hear it from his. I haven't had a chance to like listen to the full clips yet, but Brian Windhorst is someone I trust. Shams very tapped in those types of things.
Right.
Brian Windhorst has been saying forever, and when this whole thing happened, this collective bargaining agreement happened, second apron really hog ties a team like that. The Cavs really, there's moves to be made, but like moves that can be made, but it is very, 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 very difficult to do so.
Right.
And that he, especially when they were struggling, he was saying, you know, you might have to get yourself under the second apron, which then takes stuff away from you. You don't necessarily become a better team in that regard. You just become a team building more flexibility.
Right.
I mean, he was saying, you know, in terms of like Giannis, like why not try? Like
that's what I want to hear. Yes,
he knows that they are. At least reading the quote above the tweet, it was, you know, saying that he knows that they are on the phones and that, you know, if they can figure out a way to finagle the whole puzzle of the second apron, they'd love to do a home run thing. Now, can't get hooked by that. We're not quite at the trade deadline yet.
Yeah,
people are going to hear that and they're going to think that the Cavs are definitely going to make a move. Just remember, it takes two to tango, and it's like it is still very difficult. Like I want to temper expectations.
Sure.
It's just they're at least acknowledging that there is there's changes to be made. That's for sure.
Good. Okay.
Something that's not changing, that's the presence of Jose Ramirez here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And he signs a 7-year extension to keep him here through 2032. I think it's 7 years, 175 million, 70 million deferred. If you are thinking that means that there is more flexibility for this team to add players and utilize that money, please go back and watch the press conference from today, because Chris Antonetti, the president, was very clear. There are major league rules around teams that do that deferred money that basically you have to set that aside. That's or right. Operate as if you don't have that $70 million that is deferred, because at some point you are forced to pay. Like he's going to get that money, that $70 million. You have that team that signed him to that deal has to pay that deferred money. So it doesn't give as much flexibility as people were trying to drum up excitement for. And another thing, and I'll get your reaction to this, trying just a couple of these comments that came out. Like, we love Jose, love that he's here. He is the quintessential Clevelander. He said he's 50% Dominican Republic, 50% Clevelander now. Like, the get us meter is, I mean, it's not even measurable at this point with Jose Ramirez. And he's great for the young players. He's a great leader. He leads by example. He's the first one in, last one out. You know, that's what you want from your leader. Like, they're holding themselves to that high standard. Like, if they're at that level and I'm still trying to like earn my way, like I better be trying to do, like attempting to do more, whether I can or I can't. Bobby Gibson said that when when he tells the story of LeBron, like he would try to beat LeBron to the building. He would try to beat LeBron to practice. He never could do it, but he was following in that example and he loved putting in that work. So that's what these guys do. Chris Antonetti also said today that basically they have tried. There have been talks and like signing guys this offseason. Guys that they've talked to have signed elsewhere. They're never going to give specific names, that's for sure.
Sure.
And I'm paraphrasing here. Those guys signed elsewhere, but it's not because of a money issue. It's because of a playing time concern. Because the Guardians are very clear that they want their young talent. They want to give them the opportunities to have the impact on this team, like their young prospects and the young players they brought up last year. So those established major league players hearing that type of thing, they don't think they're going to get enough playing time here. that they expect and feel like they have earned through their tenure in the major leagues. So they went elsewhere for a very similar level money deal that the Guardians could have offered.
That's interesting.
And yet they're also telling you that they know they have to build around Jose, and they know how tall of a task it is. They have their work cut out for them, and they're willing to do it so they can win a World Series here. I don't know. To me, personally, the messaging is very – it contradicts itself all over the place.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the messaging. I'm just looking at the facts here. I mean, first off, I love the Jose extension. I mean, this is the kind of move that signals stability in a clubhouse. I mean, not just for the lineup, but for the entire organization. When your best player commits long term, it gives the front office clarity, the clubhouse confidence, and the fan base something really real to believe in. And I mean, what's more real than Jose Ramirez being here until like 2032? Like crazy. Yes. And then you talked about just like keeping the young guys. I think that's really interesting as well because we brought up quite a bit of young guys last year. And hopefully they continue to play well. But something I noticed today, actually, did you know that we have the second ranked farm system in all the MLB? Did you realize that?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
I did not know that.
I knew it was like top 10 to top 5. I didn't know that it was top. I didn't know it was number 2.
Yeah,
but I mean. And like I understand the hesitation to, cause these young guys not to get the playing time because you have now someone locked in there that you brought in.
Sure.
I don't want to say off the street, but basically that wasn't in the organization. You've brought them now in from the outside instead of bringing up the young guys. That's because you got guys that Yonder Diaz and players like that you let go when they didn't show much, at least their early couple years here. You trade them away, and now they're starting to have success, things like that. Like now,
what the heck?
Yeah, and now they are I don't want to say overcorrecting yet because we haven't seen like enough sample size of them trying to make a change, but they've corrected the other way now where they don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah,
they want to give them the opportunity so that that success happens here instead of elsewhere.
Yeah, I
understand it, but it's frustrating because you feel like you're strong words, but it feels like you're wasting the guy that continues to give and give and give and give to you. Somehow we got to repay him a little bit more than we have.
No, I agree.
The team, not the fans. The fans have definitely more than given back to
no,
Jose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely the team. Stephen Kwan is not going to cut it. We need more than just Stephen Kwan. I was just mentioning the farm system just because, they loaded up with pitching this year. Position player depth is actually starting to catch up, which I really like as well. They actually have several young bats who are expected to push for MLB, time this season, maybe. Not to mention a former first overall pick coming up hopefully soon. And then not only that, but that I look at that as possible assets to make a trade if when we are competing during the trade deadline. If we have the number 2 farm system, I think they have. I think it was 8 top 100 players, which is crazy. That's some ammo to possibly go get someone to make this team better when it counts. I wholeheartedly agree. They got to get bats in here. They got to get this thing going. I think the 2026 blueprint is clear. Pitching, defense, and then selective upgrades, and that's in that order. They're going to lean on rotation depth. They're going to trust bullpen development, and then try to keep the payroll flexible for mid-season moves. I'm sorry, guys. I have a newborn. I'm so tired. Nonetheless, there are pieces that they can add and should add, but I do love the young talent here, and I actually do like the fact that maybe they didn't necessarily bring in a guy for money because they think that they have somebody comparable at that position who's younger and they want to see it through. Obviously, it's got to work out, but I do like that. I do like that. I don't know.
And they do have to stay healthy too, because Chase DeLauder has not played a full season.
Right.
That's a guy that people have been wanting to see, and people clamored for when he started. He started the year hurt last year. Then he goes, he comes back from injury, and he's raking down there in Columbus. Well, people are like, oh, well, you waited too long to bring him up. They also wanted to see him play more consistently, more days in a row.
Right.
And what happened? He got hurt again. He was hurt twice last season. It's the same thing we talk about with the Cavs. Like, these are two. I can honestly say these are two well-run organizations, but availability.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, is that not a great ability for either one of these teams, and to make a run for either one of these teams and to capitalize on a contention window for them. That's the changes that they need, and that's it's not something you can necessarily control though either. You can give them the best physios and doctors and all that kind of stuff, but a guy like Chase Lauder, I don't know if you've heard this, heard his come up. He was like one of those guys that was, he wasn't as tall as he is now, and then he had that quick growth spurt, and then that body cannot necessarily handle that, and it takes a while for everything to adjust. And when you're putting pressure on your body, like playing a professional sport, I feel like you're pushing that ability for your body to adjust and accommodate back. I'm no doctor though, and my wife's probably screaming at her screen right now, or screaming at her phone. Why are you don't talk about these things. You're not a doctor like I am. I'm sorry, honey.
With the Guardians too. I mean, and the schedule right off the gate is brutal, and then they actually finishes off really hard too. So they don't really have a lot of room. They don't really get a warm up this year. They're going to get thrown straight into the deep end, and I mean, it's nice that we got Jose extended, but now we got to build this team, and there's a lot of expectations. So I don't know. It's going to be hard. Next year is not going to be as easy as it was this year. I'm not saying it was easy, because obviously the stretch there at the end was incredible, but nonetheless, it's going to be hard. So.
But just remember, basketball is 82 games. Baseball is 162. So while we may react week to week and we want everything like right there, then and now, those truly are the two marathons sports. While, football feels like a 18 week sprint, week.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was thinking out loud. That was my bad. Did they just leave for Arizona today, spring training?
The trucks did. It's like with all the equipment and everything. Yeah, they were. That was as we were kind of going through the bowels of the stadium to get to where they had the press conference today. You can kind of see like stuff that was saran wrapped and all that, getting it ready to load up in the truck. So they're going to be making their trek out to Phoenix. Getting out to Arizona for all that. So definitely, if you want something to make you feel warm, because you ain't going to get any warmth anytime soon, just think baseball and just close your eyes, take a deep breath, picture baseball, picture being at the ballpark in June. Maybe you'll warm up. Hopefully your heater's working. It's actually warm wherever you are. Just a couple other quick story news and notes as we close things out here tonight. Ohio State, they do hire an offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. I know there's a lot of conversation about this, Ryan. I literally don't have an opinion, because I look back at last year when they hired Matt Patricia, and I was like, no, like this guy like can't do anything, and it worked out. And like you have to trust Ryan Day, and like he's won the national championship. He's now gotten that beating that team up north off his back as well. Like he is one of the best coaches in college football. Mm-hmm. Have to trust his judgment. I know what Arthur Smith didn't do and couldn't get done in the NFL. I understand all that. Pretty sure if hey, let's hand it to 25 and throw to 4 and whatever number that Chris Henry Jr. is going to wear, I think maybe 15. Like, I think you get off to a good start and then you just build from there, Yeah.
I don't know. I was excited about Patricia. I'm not necessarily super excited about Arthur Smith. I don't necessarily see it other than the resume. I mean, he's been a former head coach, so that's cool to have two former NFL head coaches as your coordinators at Ohio State. That's pretty cool. I was pretty upset when I heard it. I've cooled down a little bit. I'm just going to trust Ryan Day. I'd rather have Arthur Smith probably calling plays than Ryan Day anyway. We saw saw that happen in the playoffs there. The NIL angle with this. Have you heard this? Where who Arthur Smith's dad is?
Yeah, FedEx. Yep.
So yeah, Frederick W. Smith, he's the founder of FedEx. He just passed away, but he's one of the most powerful logistic companies in the world that he owned, and he's the son of it. So a lot of people are speculating, oh, well, maybe FedEx can just start funneling money in for NIL, but that's actually against NCAA rules. That they prohibit any school affiliated individuals from using their companies to directly compensate players. So. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, awesome! Here comes the billions of dollars." It's not like Nike and Oregon that he just went to Oregon. That's a conflict of interest. So, something that is out there, but we got to squash that. So,
but as of August 1st this year, maybe they can be the patch, the business patch on there. Maybe that's where you indirectly try to get some of that money in there. So. That's one that I haven't talked myself into yet, but I can see myself doing that because results have proven to me to listen to what someone says. They're telling me to trust them about this hire. Well, their track record tells me I can do that.
That makes sense.
The Browns they're the ones that have to talk me into Todd Monken by what they do. I'm not going to talk myself into it. But if other, Browns fans are, again, you fan however you want. I'm not here to tell you how you need to fan. I'm here to tell you how I feel and what I'm going to do. And I know that there's other people that feel the same way because we've been through the same kind of stuff and not just going to get the orange, not just going to have, a new stadium and, look at this. Boy, the way that they restructured this contract, they're really winning the offseason. I'm sick and tired of winning the offseason, right. People. I'm sick of being paper champions. Actually build an organization that can win an actual championship and get off the list of the 4 teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. Because, look, Seattle can turn it around. They were in a Super Bowl. They started to have some troubles. They turn it around quickly. It is possible in the NFL, and the Browns do everything they can to stop the wave of quick turnaround to good as best as they can just because they want to be smart and everybody else and do things that way.
Right.
Last news and note, Ryan, Crunch, big win last week against Lansing, 10-8 back and forth. They beat them 17-6 earlier in the year. I don't think they took them lightly, but I know that Lansing added some new players. I don't know that it was full, ready and raring to go. But great teams, championship level teams, they find a way even during their struggles.
Yeah. Cruncher 5-0. What a great game too. That was fun. Amir Suljevic looks like he's still the engine of everything. He's the best player in the league. Gabriel Paywell looks really good. The coach, what is his
Antonio
name?
Manfoot.
Manfoot, dude. The coach is playing. He's a coach in player role, and it's becoming a real advantage. He scored twice, he assisted another, and still managed the bench and rotations, which is absolutely insane. Maybe he should be the head coach of the Browns. I don't know.
Try anything at this point, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's It's a lot of fun to watch. It was a close game. What was it, 10-8? I thought it was for the last one. Yeah. And even the young guys stepped in there. Just fun. Carter Hancock, Giannis Smith, I think his name is, Rafael Davalos. I'm really bad at names, but nonetheless, all these guys, they're not death guys anymore. They're part of the rotation, and it's just a fun game. 5-0, undefeated. It's indoor soccer. I have never been a fan of soccer, but Kevin has made me a fan of this team. It's so much fun to watch. They're at the Wolstein Center, which now has have so many more seats. You guys got to go check them out, man. The MLS landscape is shifting, and it's a lot of fun. So
TheClevelandCrunch.com is where you can get your tickets. TheClevelandCrunch.com. Just go over there. Game this Sunday. So, unless you want to be, I don't even know if the Pro Bowl is on Sunday, but if you want to watch Pro Bowl festivities, we didn't even mention Shedeur as a Pro Bowl court. I'm not getting into. I'm not doing that. I love Shedeur. That's teach their own. Take issues with the NFL. Not with Shedeur. He didn't ask for it. He didn't clamor for it. If you want him to decline the invitation, stop. Who's – I'm sorry. You get to go to the Pro Bowl and, just hang around and that kind of thing. Of course players are going to accept that if there's someone like Shedeur Sanders that is still trying to grow his name and is still has that 5th-round draft pick on his moniker. He knows there's more work to do, but I'm not going to fault the kid for – a nice little trip and things like that out to California. Why not? But with the crunch, I mean, it is this Sunday, 2 p.m. Great matinee affair, great time for the family. Like you get out in about 2.5 hours, and then you're still right there about dinner time, and you can maybe have a meal downtown, or you get home, and there's still plenty of time to relax before you get back into the school week, if your kids even go to school these days.
Yeah. So they played Fort Wayne Summit second game of the week or the season this year. Obviously, they've only played 5 games. So they played Fort Wayne and they won 18-2. So I mean, obviously every game is different, but should lay the hammer. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of goals scored. You guys should go watch it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can always tune in MLIS Pro TV YouTube channel, the Rock Entertainment Sports Group, and then also WKYC Plus on their app, and audio on WOBL Radio. Our friends out there with Lorain County Country. So appreciate everybody that jumps in with us here. Appreciate everybody that jumps in, and being Cleveland fans it's always an adventure. Sometimes it's good. More often than not, it's bad, but we all get through it together, and we're the type of fans that will stay loyal to our team. So we appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure to reach out to our friends over at Green Sports Cards, greensportscards.com, live every Tuesday on social media and shows all the time. Get all the latest, greensportscards.com. For Ryan Mosser, I am Kevin Earl. Don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We love you all 3,000. Don't talk about it, Browns. Be about it, right?
Yeah, shout out to Sincere Johnson. Shot up 60 ranks and is now the number 1 linebacker in the country for Rivals. We had him 3 weeks ago on our show for Ohio State. Go check him out, man. It's pretty awesome. So
from a 4-star to a 5-star, just like that.
Top 25 player now.
And he's got the right head on his shoulders. He's going to do a lot of things for Ohio State, and I'm sure he does this, and a lot of other people should, in the right way, as our great late friend Mike Allen used to say, live life, all gas, no brakes. We'll talk to you next time right here on The Voice of the Lamb.